In our long and fascinating journey through life, we gather things. We collect memories. We collect experiences. We collect what we often call facts. We strive to understand the world around us, the smallest insect scurrying under a leaf. We strive to understand the world around us, the vast silent dance of the cosmos. In this quest, we often use two words, truth and knowledge, as if they were one and the same, yet they are quite different, like two streams that flow from the same mountain but follow very different paths to the sea. One is the mountain itself, solid and unchanging. The other is the water that flows over and around it, constantly moving and adapting its shape. Understanding this distinction is one of the most profound steps we can take in our personal growth. Let us consider truth first. Truth, in its purest form, is simply what is. It is the bedrock of the universe, the underlying principles that govern everything. It does not require our approval or our awareness to be real. It is silent, patient, and absolute, waiting quietly to be discovered. This video offers 3 short points to help see how truth and knowledge differ. Our first point: imagine a great unmovable mountain. This mountain represents truth. It has stood for eons, peaks carved by forces far older than any living creature. Seen from north, south, east or west, the mountain itself remains the same. Now imagine the many paths that wind their way up and around this mountain. These paths represent knowledge. A geologist may walk a route focused on rocks and strata. A botanist may follow a trail that clings to verdant valleys. A poet may sit at a viewpoint and understand beauty in a way a scientist does not. All are interacting with the same mountain, the same truth, but with different knowledge. Some paths lead to dead ends based on misunderstandings. Others combine their maps, refining routes toward a better view. When a new, more accurate map is made, we can abandon an old, inefficient trail. We learn that our previous path was not the mountain, but simply one way of seeing it. We update our knowledge, we refine our paths, but the mountain, the truth, has not moved. Our journey is not to change the mountain, but to refine our path. Point 1 complete. Let us now turn to a more domestic example. Imagine a recipe for baking bread. A specific amount of flour, a precise quantity of water, a pinch of salt, a measure of yeast, an oven temperature and time. This knowledge can be passed down, copied, shared and improved upon. One might add herbs or use a different flour, thereby modifying the recipe. The truth, in this analogy, is the experience of tasting the warm, freshly baked bread itself. It is the aroma, the crust that crackles, the soft crumb and the comforting flavour as you eat it. No matter how detailed the recipe, it can never fully capture the sensory event of eating the bread. The recipe is a guide, a map to the truth, but it is not the truth itself. One could spend a lifetime studying recipes and never actually taste the bread. They could know the chemistry, the data, the theory, and still miss the truth. Knowledge is often abstract. Truth is experiential and direct. To touch the truth, we must sometimes step off the page and taste. Knowledge gives instructions. Action and experience complete the circle. Study and practice together bring knowledge closer to truth. Point 2, complete. Knowledge points the way. Truth is what we taste when we arrive. For our third point, let us cast our eyes upward to the night sky. Stars, galaxies, nebulae, a colossal objective fact. The universe is the ultimate truth, a silent, glittering testament, independent of our awareness. The light we see may have traveled for ages, yet the star is real and in real places. Now consider the constellations we draw on that canvas. A hunter, a bear, a dragon. Patterns we impose to make sense of the sky. Different cultures make different constellations, different systems of knowledge. Remove the lines and the raw stars remain, the truth unchanged by our stories. As tools change, the telescope, the observatory, our maps improve. Smudges become galaxies, dots become suns. Knowledge moves closer to truth. The Big Dipper is not a literal ladle, it is our pattern. Those stars are fiery spheres at wildly different distances, only appearing aligned from our vantage point. The great danger is to mistake our map for the territory. When we cling to our knowledge so tightly, we stop learning. The wisest use knowledge as a raft to cross a river, not a house to live in. We must continue to learn, question, explore, and refine what we know. Truth is the destination, the mountain, the taste, the stars. Knowledge is our map, the paths, the recipe, the constellations. Use knowledge humbly and let it lead you to meet the truth. That is wisdom.